I'm most proud of the fact that what I'm doing has brought so many people together. So like what I enjoy, like I tell my friends all the time, my friends are very important to me. My family is too, but my friends are my family. I've battled mental illness, I've battled self-care, I battled suicidal thoughts, like I battled all those things, and I will always say like my friends, they're the reason why I'm here.
Hey guys, what's good? And welcome to the COSIGN Life. If you're watching this video, that means you co-sign us and we co-sign you. So here are a couple of ways to support us at COSIGN Magazine. Number one, view the description below, click the link, and purchase an issue of COSIGN Magazine. Just like this one right here, physical. You can purchase this. Number two, you can also support us by purchasing COSIGN merch. Hit the link below and it'll take you to all our past merch items, and we'd love to have your support and see you wear COSIGN Magazine. What's good, world? We're back with another episode of COSIGN Conversations, and this time we got Taylor Nikole, owner, designer of Taylor Nikole. This is my friend. She's a model, designer, creative director, creative artist, style, whatever you want to call it. She does it all. She does it all. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Man,
Happy to be here.
Yes, this interview is long overdue. You've been doing so many great things. I've known you for a while, so I'm glad we're finally here today.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. So I want to start off with, it's kind of a cliche question, but it allows people who may not be familiar with you to kind of get to know you. So if anybody had to ask, who is Taylor Nikole, what would you say?
Taylor Nikole is a creative artist that just wants to bring joy to the world with her creative art.
That's amazing. So how did you actually get your start, or when did you knew that you were creative?
I think my last year, like senior year of high school, because I was in fashion design. That's when I knew like I want to do something creative. I want to do something with design, and it just like took off from there with modeling, influencing, painting, and then obviously now with earrings and stuff. So yeah, I've known for a while.
And you went to college, right?
I went to Art Institute, didn't finish.
I ain't finished school
Too
either.
expensive. But yeah, I went to Art Institute and I learned what I needed to learn, and then I took that and continued this journey.
So what would you say that you took from that you brought with you?
Two things, bad and good. Good was like I first met a lot of my friends that I'm best friends with today. I took a lot of friendships from that. Me growing up in high school thinking I was kind of like a weirdo, finding like artistic friends that actually get me was really great. And then I think learning how the school system kind of wants to put you in some type of box. Like I wanted to create different things. Like, oh, well, this is the rules of the book. This is how you're supposed to do fashion, instead of like, you can do it however way you want. And I learned like, you know what, I can take this and do it my own way. Gotcha. So
that's actually a great point, because being in Texas, that specifically, there's a lot of creatives out here, but when you look at a city like New York or LA, it's like the norm there, which is not really here. So what would you say to somebody who's like to follow your path and being creative and express themselves, but they don't want to be considered different or weird?
I would say like, don't be scared. Just be yourself. And if some people, like people that you're around in that moment, aren't really getting it, find other outlets, find other people, and start getting into groups that actually love photography, I love modeling, I love painting. Because if you don't, like just me being from the South, I kind of started to fall into places of just being, in a way, normal, which normal isn't bad, but for me, just kind of not myself, not expressing myself the right way. So I would just tell people, don't be scared and like find your crowd so you can like grow bigger in your creative like space.
That's amazing. So what would you say is like the first thing you jumped into? Because you do so much. What was like the first, I guess, thing that people gravitated for? Was it modeling, styling, designing?
I feel like the designing was the first thing, but I think everything popped off when I started modeling. Went to South by Southwest like years ago, and I remember I got on like hype beats and like all these other pictures. Like people started taking pictures of me in Austin, and I was like, oh, and then came home literally the next day and shaved my head and was like, okay, I'm gonna like invest in this modeling thing. So yeah, modeling was like, I think what people like know me for at first, and then that's cool, but like I'm more than that. So I'm glad that now I'm at a point where I can model, but also show like I'm creative, I'm artistic. There's more to me than just like modeling people's brands and things. Yeah.
So when you went to South by Southwest, this was just y'all just doing pop-up shoots everywhere?
Yeah, so I went down there because like at the time I was fashion design, so I was going out there. I like to design artists because artists want something different.
Right,
you know, like I'm like, okay, I can't just design for the average like Southern guy that just wants to match. Like,
Right.
so I went out there scouted for artists to style, and then obviously my style had blue braids at the time. It was just a lot going on, and people started taking pictures of me, and I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I just kind of ended up being that way, and I'll say in a way I like that attention because I've never got that attention for me just being myself.
Right.
So that was cool, and I was like, oh, people like this, and then you telling me I could be an influencer and I can make money off of like me, like
Yeah. You spoke about shaving your hair. I feel like that's like invigorating for women.
yes.
What made you want to do that?
So for me, shaving my head, because I've done it so many times at this point, it's just kind of like a refresh. So from that first moment I did it was just like shaving that layer of any insecurities, anything, and just like living in my truth of like, this is you.
Right.
Nothing, I feel like with my hair, like back in the day was like, in a way, being insecure about things, it kind of made me hide behind it. Like, you see my hair before you see me, or
Right.
like anything that I'm insecure about. And without that, it was like a shed of like, this is me. And then, like I said, modeling for me it was fun, but it also was me discovering my confidence, like learning to look at photos of myself, learning to like love myself, learning to like look at myself in the mirror and feel beautiful. So that was just like a transcending like moment for me to just really just shed all of that fakeness in a way of like hiding and just
Right.
saying like, yeah, this is what you get. Like,
Right.
I'm bald.
Yeah. And you pull it off, man.
Yeah. And now, like, I can go back. I've done so many hairstyles, and I can go back to braids. I can go back to all this, but I truly feel like the most beautiful when I like don't have hair or like really short. Like, that's just where I'm at.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I know you personally. So we know that you've been to New York. You traveled a lot, but you used to live in New York. Like, what made you choose New York specifically?
Cause it's just been a dream. Like New York is like I know some people say like people from New York are like mean or aggressive, but that's
Right.
kind of like my attitude. I just
Yeah.
like straightforward, blunt over LA. Even though
Right.
like I love LA, I have friends in LA,
LA
but
is a vibe.
I just feel like LA is just a little. That's just not my journey yet. But New
Right,
York
right.
was just like my very first. Like I need to go out there, fashion wise, grungy. Like I really feel like I know a lot of people out there that like truly can be themselves, and I was just like my friends was out there. It was just like a perfect opportunity.
Right.
But yeah, it's always been a dream to go. So it was definitely like in that moment when I was here, I was just like at my wit's end. I was at my lowest point, and I was just like, I'm ready to do something for myself, and that's
sure.
something I've always dreamed about doing, and I did it. So
Nah, that's amazing. And what's great about your story is you remind me of my friend. His name is Mike. He's a photographer, videographer, producer, artist. Like he does so many things, but the great thing is that he does it all well, like you. So with you being known for modeling and being on these huge publications, and then now you've had a lot of recent success with your earrings. It's just crazy to have to your story. But before we get deep into like the earrings, who was like the first person or brand that really co-signed you, that meant the most, that really remembered why you started and kind of helped you along your journey?
as far as like the earrings or just in general?
I'll say in general, and then we can talk about the earrings.
I feel like it's just been a little bit of everyone. And
Right.
I don't really like to say like this person. I feel like my life leading up to where it is now, just anybody that really came into my life, whether we talk now or not, like have showed me some part of like growth with myself. And so I can say like Princess, I can say you, I can say my friends, I can say Urban Outfitters, like
Right.
everyone that I've came encounter with has prepared me, whether it's negative or good,
Right.
for like where I'm at now. So I really don't have like a pinpoint of like, that's where I'm gonna start. Like
Gotcha.
you told me, like, I don't really have that per se. I will say one thing that made me like say, okay, I can do this and I can work hard was when I was on Solange set. I will say that.
Oh, wow.
When she shot out here,
Okay.
I randomly ended up at the shoot. I randomly ended up like in the spot with her, in her little trailer with her, and just seeing that she's Solange. She can
Right.
it's cold. She could have anybody out there. She could be in the trailer the whole time, and seeing her out there working and instructing and she's the artist, but she's actually constructing her video and stuff was like very empowering. Like I was like, wow, like I'm not just starstruck at Solange. I'm
Right.
like analyzing every movement that she made and every like how she talked to people, how she treated people,
Right.
and that really was like an eye opener of like I can be my own boss,
Right.
and treat people well and be creative and still be the star in a way.
Right.
So yeah.
And how'd that come about? Like,
Oh, I had a photo shoot that day, and the stylist that was going to style me for that shoot, she ended up calling me canceling. I snatched my eyelashes off, about to go back to bed. She was like, they need extras.
Okay.
So just wear all black. I got up fast, went to I think she shot at the, what do you call it? Like kind of by the library, the town hall.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. So went up there. So I was like dressed in the extra stuff. I remember getting my makeup done, and this man walked by, and he like stopped and looked at me, and he was like texting. He was like, actually, she needs to be in like this dress. So I'm like, oh, okay. Not knowing Solange is there, because
No.
I figured they shoot like B-roll and stuff like
Gotcha.
that, but the artist doesn't always have to be there. And so they changed me, and he's talking about she, and I'm like, who is she? Like, what are you talking about? So it was me and like 3 other models, black girls, short hair, and then we ended up getting in a bus or whatever and going to like the set. And I remember she just came out, and I was just like,
Oh, wow.
oh, like I was about to be asleep today. Like, so whatever else goes on right now, like I'm very grateful. Like this is crazy. Who gets to just wake up and like meet one of their idols?
Right.
Very sweet. Like get them blankets. It's cold, hot. I think my hair was like blue at the time, like short but like light blue. She was like, "Do you mind if I like shave your hair? Spray your hair black with paint?" I was like, "You can shave it."
You do whatever.
And she laughed and stuff, but it was cool. And then I ended up having a moment where they were trying to see if something worked on me. I went to the trailer by myself with her, and I opened the door and it was just her and her stylist, and I was just like, wow. Didn't end up being in the video.
Oh, really?
And didn't that was cut. But me being a creative, I know how things like that work,
Gotcha.
and I'm not one bit upset about it.
Right,
like
right.
I learned in that moment of watching it, like I got to experience something that a lot of people don't get to experience, and it's just like I know a lot of time this day and age everybody wants validation
Right.
of like I was in this, we did this, but I was like I don't need to be validated for like my real life of like what happened. So
Exactly.
that was really where I kind of was just like realizing a lot of things, like not everything has to be broadcasted, just live in the moment of things.
Right.
And yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those cases to where like the experience was actually worth more than the final product.
Because you can't have
phones.
phones on set. Like they made sure we couldn't have phones, we couldn't record. So it was just like you live in the moment right now.
Yeah. Man, speaking of living in the moment, you told me earlier offline that you just moved to New York, didn't know any of your roommates before you got there. Talk to us about that, because for one, it's different to like move to a city like you said that was when your dream and spoke to you, but with like no idea of how you're gonna make it or what's going on. Like, talk to us about that.
I went through, and I'll say that in a transparent way, but I went through a breakup. I went through a breakup with a close friend that I worked with, and it was just a lot of stuff. And I realized in those moments, I've done a lot for a lot of people. Not saying I regret it, but I've done a lot for a lot of people. But what have I done for myself?
Right.
And so when those two things like actually ended, I was talking about going to New York, but I postponed it because I was like, let me make sure everybody's good.
Right.
And then it just made me just like, let me just see if I can set this up. I was working at Urban Outfitters at the time. I got that job back, and I was like, I can transfer?
Yeah.
Let's see how that works.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, get that in motion. And then I was just like, yeah, I talked to my best friend, and she was like, hey, you're not gonna be able to roommate with me, but I know these people. I know these people. I met them out here. Like, they're good people. You can stay with them.
Oh, nice.
Your room is only $400. New
Oh,
York,
good.
$400. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Adding it up, and then I was just like, I'm a minimalist, so I don't really have a lot of things anyway. Like, everything I have is something that really matters to me. So
Right.
packing it up, a suitcase full of clothes, full of like, I really packed more paint. It's so funny. I packed more paint, artistic stuff, and clay than I did clothes, because I was just like, I can get clothes when I'm out there.
Gotcha.
And I just jetted, and I remember just getting there, and the roommate was very sweet, very like opening, welcoming, and it was just work, Soho work, and then just how things pan out. Supposed to have a full schedule. End up getting there. That's one of the biggest stores in New York. Like,
Yeah.
never seen the manager. Like, I probably met the manager like twice.
Oh, wow.
And not thinking I had my full schedule like when I was here in the South, where I had like a full schedule, worked like 6 o'clock in the morning till 3. I
Right.
thought I was gonna have that there, and they were like, no, you pretty much gotta fight for shifts, like
Oh, wow.
on this app. And so I'm like, okay.
That's
So I'm
different.
out here thinking I'm gonna make at least 400 for me to stay, and that's not really how it is. So I
Right.
really have to grind. So with that, just networking and meeting people, I ended up working in a barbershop as well, and then I had time, but mind you, I'm saying work. I never had time to do my earrings. So
Okay.
it was just like very, okay, but I was out there. So
Yeah.
it was like networked, met so many people just in that like little amount of time. That really
Yeah.
makes me realize like the universe calls you for like reasons. I have friendships that I would probably never had if I never moved out there. So it was great.
Nah, for sure. Well, let's talk about these earrings now. So when did you actually come up with the idea? When was your aha moment that you were like, I'm gonna design earrings?
I came up with the idea in 2019.
Okay.
But I was here still. Started making them. My very first one, I don't have it, but it's the royalty, the blue one that Tracee Ellis wore. Got it tattooed on me. That was my very first design. And I was making it, but I was still working here. And I was working for my friend and everything. And it just didn't pop off because I just was kind of insecure about it, but then kind of like, do I have time to actually do it? Got laughed at.
Oh, really?
Got like, you really gonna sell it by my ex? Like just people in your, just be careful who you surround yourself around.
Right.
But got laughed at and stuff, so it kind of made me feel like a little insecure. Then I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. Had a pop-up shop here before I moved to New York, before it even blew up. Had a secret like small pop-up shop at a gallery downtown. People came out. Some people that I know to this day have my very first designs that are trash, like ugly. Ugh. But like archives, like now I want to buy them back from them because they're like, I don't even have my very first pair. Like, yeah, so, but I was like, and then probably like a month or like a couple months, a month after I had that pop-up, I ended up moving to New York. That's what's up. Then I got distracted with that, and then quarantine. So quarantine happened. I was in quarantine for a month in New York, lockdown, because we locked down before Dallas did. And then that time, I was like, well, guess I can like start making earrings or like start painting and stuff again. So kind of dabbed into it, but it really didn't like hit until I moved back home, which was a lot of pride to swallow. Like,
what month was this?
I came back. Lockdown was like around February or March, April. So I came back like May.
Okay, May.
I say May. Yeah, and then I think so. Yeah, and then it was just like lockdown, and I just studied. I read this book called Launch Your Dreams so it was like a daily book. So every day you read it. It's like 30 days.
Okay.
And by the end of the book, basically you have everything you've done. You have your business plan. Okay. And so I studied that for a month, and then I released my website officially on Memorial Day. And that's been a year and a half now. So yeah, but I really just was like, okay, I'm here. I don't want to be back here. Like I wanted, my dream was to be in New York. I got to kind of start from scratch. Like, let me actually do something that I can, not knowing it was going to do this, but my whole concept was like, people are at home. I want them to feel happy and beautiful in their house. I know everybody's working from home, and I want to just share my art and make people feel a little bit happier during this like really bad time.
Got you. But why would you say earrings though, out of anything? You could have made bracelets.
Fun fact,
okay.
Back in 2015, maybe 16, I had a jewelry line before. Okay. I love earrings. I don't wear it really other than a gold chain, which I'm not making a gold chain. Like earrings is like my accessory, and it's especially with my short hair and stuff. It's just always been like, I love making a statement. I had a jewelry line back then, and I was getting it from India, like just really like intricate pieces, very unique pieces, and I've already done it before. A lot of people just don't know. Like I've had it on Etsy. I sold all that stuff. I sold out, but it wasn't mine. And so that was like my concept. So when I found out about clay and taking the design concept, sewing was really hard for me. Okay. For men, like it's just a lot. You got to really know everybody's sizes. It was learning like, okay, I found this clay. I think I was on YouTube or something, and I was just like, I can make anything out of this. So for me, the clay and the earrings, it just gave me like a no limit. I can make anything. Gotcha. And so from there, I know people like ask, oh, you're gonna do necklaces and stuff. Like it's earrings and it's home decor next. Gotcha. And then it's furniture next. And then it's like, I'm on like, my mom's an interior designer. So I've always been into like home decor and like lifestyle items and things like that. So it was just like a blank canvas. It's like, I can make anything out of this. Gotcha. So how long does the process take to make a pair of earrings? From start to finish, how long would you say it takes? For like one earring, for like the royalty, let's just say the royalty. Okay. Probably like, for me, I mean, you have to bake it. So it does get, it needs heat to like get hard. So that's like at least 25 minutes, 30 minutes. So I'd say like an hour. Okay. And at this point, are you, like, what's your process? Are you doing multiple at one time? Multiple. Okay. Multiple. I kind of got like a process of how I just boom, 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 make all the cuts I need to make, put the backs on, put in the oven, go back. I do a lot of extra steps than a lot of like regular polymer clay artists don't do.
Gotcha.
Another thing that I realized, because I'm not knowing, this is a different world. Polymer clay, like earrings and stuff, is like a whole community of like crafters, like old lady crafters, like on Etsy and stuff. Like, but one thing I learned about that is they usually do cookie cutters. They don't make their shapes. I organically make mine. And another thing I found out was most people, like clay is sold in colors. I paint mine. A lot of people don't paint. So that's another step. Like I added steps to my process, but it makes it, for me, more special in a way.
Gotcha.
And then I found out like I'm probably like one of the only, not only, but it's not very few black women polymer clay artists.
And how'd you stumble upon that? Because you could have done any type of area. How'd you stumble on clay, or did you already know about this?
I just, like I said, I just wanted to make something from scratch. The thing I was battling, like from when I started my jewelry line a long time ago, was metals and like how to do it. Like, you know, just kind of like, you can only, like if you make metals, I have to go to the craft store and get a metal thing. Like, okay, somebody else could get that same thing. I'm really about originality. I want to create it from scratch. Like, this is all me, not using like, oh, let me get a dangle cross. And then, I want it to be very like original and just, I like to get dirty. I'm an artist. So I like the clay in my hands. I like randomly just making something and like, oh, cool, this is cool. Like, so it was just really don't know that day I discovered it in a way, but like, I feel like once I did, it was a wrap, like obviously.
Yeah, for sure, and it's growing. So my question for you would be, because, you know, in business, we want to make sure that, you know, we can meet our demand, but with you doing all your design and everything yourself, how do you plan, I guess, on scaling it to where, you know, it can grow and you could do like mass orders? Have you thought about that yet?
I feel like I'm a little psycho because I work day and night. So I'm not, I know I've had that question before, and I'm really, when it gets to that point, I'm not worried. I think officially I've had like 860 orders, and I've fulfilled all of them. So, I mean, as far as that, like, I think what I'm planning to do now, like I have my earrings at the Jewel Hotel, and then I'm trying to get it into some museums. So I'm trying to broaden it where they have things. So I'm making like a collected amount, and you can get it from there. So it's taking less stress off of like me fulfilling it myself. So trying to get into some doors. But that's where it comes to, like, obviously my dream is building a team and having like that. I don't know where I don't really care for it to be a big company like, oh my God, like China. It's just boom, 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 boom. I like that touch of like people knowing I actually handmade it, and like, you know, it's one of one. Each pair is one of one. I still like that, so I'm gonna try everywhere I can to keep that going. If I just need help with, okay, y'all pack it up and mail it. I have friends when I have pop-ups that paint the earrings, but I'm gonna be the one that like makes it. Until I find somebody that like I can take on to teach them, but like this is my baby, and I can't really.
Nah, I know how that feels. So, do you remember the first person who bought a pair of earrings?
Probably, I'm gonna shout her out. Probably Dean.
Okay.
Do you know Dean? Dean's a model out here. I went to her place the other day, and she has like my archives.
Oh, for real?
I'm gonna buy them back for her. So I would say her, but I mean I could literally look at the list and see who was the very first. I have everything very organized.
So let's list. Everybody likes these names, but you worked with a lot of amazing celebrities, brands, clients. So who was the first, I guess, well-known person or brand?
I know exactly who the first like celebrity person was. It was DJ Duffy.
DJ Duffy? And how she stumbled upon it?
I saw her. So one thing about me, I'm a slide in people's DMs.
Slide in them things.
I don't look at, oh, this person's like a celebrity and they might not. If they don't answer me, they don't answer me. If they tell me no, they tell me no, but I'm going to ask. And I'm not going to be annoying about it. I'm very chill. I know how to talk to people. But I know she knew who I was. Like, she's known me, of me. So I messaged her and I was just like, hey, like if you ever need earrings for shoots or anything like that, just let me know. And then she reached back out to me and was like, actually I have a shoot today. And I don't play about that. I'm gonna get it done. So, and then I like end up hurrying up, got her some earrings, went to her shoot, met her because I feel like we've known each other, but I haven't like actually met her for me. Like that's one thing I like being a designer versus a model is like you can be a model and people just more so look at you like, okay, you're a model versus like, no, I'm a designer. Like respect me, like hi, like nice to meet you. She loved them and she wore them for the shoot, and that was like the very first like celebrity. Still to this day, I send her earrings like every now and then, and she'll wear them.
That's what's up. I want to stay on the celebrity thing, but before that, you said something that kind of goes to another series we have called More Than a Model, right? But I want to talk about models. Why do you feel like people don't fully respect models, or they only see them as like a prop, or as a beauty? I guess like a beauty.
I feel like people. I don't know, and it's so hard because I still think about this. Like I don't know if it's a Southern thing. Like I don't know if it's just a South thing of like. Just I've seen a lot. I've been modeling for a long time, but I do feel like more appreciated when I was in New York as a model. Like, oh, this is your job.
Right.
Not like, no, you come in here, you get dressed, you put this on. But I mean, it is what it is. A model, like I got a hanger tatted on me. A model, you're a hanger for whatever you're promoting. You are. So it's just like I felt like as an artist, I do get more, or just it's more to me than just being a model, like a pretty face, like you know. So and I feel like I speak for a lot of models. Like it's a lot of models are probably like. Creative in different ways, but like this is how they make their money. This is what they enjoy doing too. Like we're more than that. Like at the end of the day, modeling is a business.
Right.
We are a business. So yeah, it's just I feel like I didn't really get appreciated how I should have.
Right.
But at the same time, like I said, I've never looked for validation of like, oh, you're the best model. Like I don't need that anyway because I know like.
You know what you do. Yeah.
I know I'm good. I kill any shoot. You can ask any photographer. You ain't gotta ask me nothing. Like,
that's real. That's real. I appreciate that. But back to the celebrity. So from there, it's been a list of
Zendaya.
Yeah.
I'll make a list of how it happened.
Yeah, man. Like, let's go. Let's talk about Zendaya.
Zendaya was next after DJ Duffy.
And how that? Like, that was through a stylist, or tell us that story.
Fun fact. So let me just say this now. So I think I had an interview on Live, and a lady asked me. She was like a clay. She promotes clay. So I was like, I need to get on Live and like talk to people that actually want clay earrings.
Right.
And she was like, yeah, so since you're a model, you must be connected with all these magazines and stylists. Not at all. Okay. Now, when I first started, no. And even now, like I'm not, I have their email or I have their address, I'm just gonna send them stuff. No, I still wait for people to reach out to me. So all these things happen just word of mouth or they found me. Okay. I didn't know anybody. I wish, if I did, it probably would happen faster, but I didn't know anybody or anything. So Zendaya did a cover to represent black artists, black designers. Her stylist reached out to me, who was styling her? What's her stylist? The Law.
Okay.
He didn't, his assistant. Reached out to me, was like, hey, we're pulling some earrings. Another fun fact about that, whenever somebody asks for earrings, it's not a promise that it's gonna work. Like the salon shoot. I was in the video shoot. I was there the whole day, but when we making cuts, final edits, you might not make it. So just me sending it, I never like to get my hopes up or I'm happy about the opportunity, but it could be like, it didn't work, change it. Right. So sent those to her, sent a couple, and then didn't hear nothing, didn't know, just sent them. And then I think the styles ended up sending me back when it was like when it actually dropped. And I was surprised. I was like, so I love that moment. I like not knowing either because when it happens, it's just like, wow. So yeah, she did a feature with that. And then I think the next one literally was out partying with my friends. Went to Waffle House in the morning. I'm at Waffle House with my friend. And I look and Tracee Ellis is on the Lay's commercial with my blue ones. So it's just like, I love those moments because first it always happens when I need it. Right. As far as being an artist, I'll talk about mental care and self-care. Like it's a lot of pressure, especially when you get one celebrity, you're like, oh shit, like I need to keep it going. Yeah. So it's a lot of stress under that. So when it happens just naturally, it's just like, you're where you're at, like just relax. Yeah, Tracee Ellis wore them twice.
That's crazy.
Lay's and then the Jimmy Kimmel Live. And I was just like.
And that was through her stylist?
That was through her stylist, Carla West. So it's funny because I knew who Carla West was. Like I followed her from fashion design. She was on Project Runway, things like that. And so obviously she reached out to me personally. And then from there I talked to her assistant and she's looked out for me because she didn't have to. She didn't
Right.
tell me what it was going to be for. She just said, hey, can you send me some earrings? I didn't know it was going to be a commercial. I didn't know she was going to use the other pair for Jimmy Kimmel. Like, that's the thing. Stylists are very thoughtful with that, too. I feel like she's a very thoughtful stylist. Like, she actually wants to put on
Right.
underground artists and designers and stuff. So that was really cool.
That's amazing. So at this point, are you doing outreach still? Like you still?
So that last year was a year of blessings. I'll say I literally wrote that down. Last year was a year of blessings of people coming to me, and now this year going on to next year is going to be me putting my foot on the ground.
Right.
So me like doing research, me like sending out stylists, kits to people,
Exactly.
but also going back to where I started, because sometimes you can kind of lose yourself with the fame and like the
Right.
celebrities. It's like y'all are cool. But I really started this for everyday people to walk around not feeling so everyday.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So for people to feel like they're making a statement, for people. So I just have to find a balance.
That balance between
So
the
that's why I've been
celebrities.
doing pop-ups and things
Gotcha.
like that to show more love to like my customers that's shopping. Right.
Right.
The celebrities not shopping.
Nah, for sure.
You know, they're not buying
Yeah.
it. So it's just like, yeah, just find a balance. So yeah, this year, the rest of this year and next year is definitely me putting my foot on the ground, networking, emailing, and things like that. Because that all came to me and it was a blessing, but it's like how you keep it
Yeah.
going is how you work.
Nah, fast. And we're talking about pop. We're not talking about small pop-ups. We're talking about
Big
talking about Nordstrom's.
Urban.
Talking about,
The Urban was my favorite pop-up.
Yeah, that
Urban
was yeah.
Outfitters, the Jewel Hotel, downtown Dallas. Big pop-up.
Yeah, I actually brought my mom and my daughter to the one at Nordstrom. Yeah,
It was great.
yeah. My mom was like, "Yo, this is crazy to see all these young black people killing it." She liked how everybody was dressed. She like
Yeah.
everybody's creative. They're wearing what they want to wear. I was like, man, this is the
Yeah.
way. Like,
The Urban Outfitters one, the Nordstrom one was obviously amazing.
Yeah.
Because, like, what? Nordstrom's. But
Right.
then the Urban Outfitters was definitely, I think, my favorite by far because I used to work there.
right? Yeah.
So on and off, it was just like, just seeing them show me love and like whatever you want, like, oh, we're so proud of you. Like, these are my managers and like people
Yeah.
I used to work with. And yeah, that was very like full circle moment.
That's
Yeah, that was great.
amazing. And I think one question people want to know, because people have dreams, but they always talking about, man, they may not have the finances, right? So what's like like how much did it take you to actually get this off the ground? When we're talking about clay, paint, website.
Yeah. So I've had the website luckily
Okay.
for years. So that was just like, I just took all my
just
modeling
trained.
stuff
Yeah.
off and just put it back on. I would say I was blessed to have money coming in because I wasn't working, unemployment,
Yeah.
invested a lot of Taylor Nikole,
Yeah.
the government.
Salute to the
Gave
government.
me a lot. And then like, I don't know, my dad and my mom own their own business. My dad owns like a maid service. My mom owned the interior designer business. So I've grown up seeing that it takes money to make money.
Right.
So I wasn't scared to be on my last.
For sure.
It's gonna come back. So I mean, clay with everything is pricey, but at the same time, like, I make it back.
Yeah.
Like I said, it depends. Like we were talking about earlier, of like, New York can be expensive, LA can be expensive. It depends on how your lifestyle, like what you
Right.
need. Like
You said
I
that.
don't need a lot to survive. Like I learned that from being in New York, not having anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't need to get my nails done every week.
Yeah.
$60, $70. Like it's certain things I took back to put more into my business.
Mm-hmm.
And since I learned that, it's just been a good balance. Like every now and then, okay, cool, I get to buy a sneaker now. Like I never used to get sneakers. So
Yeah.
like things like that. But yeah, I just literally put my money in my business, and that's from paying my models. Like I remember not getting paid, like
Yeah.
paying my models. My friends taking me somewhere. I don't have a car out here because I was in New York. They taking me to my pop-up, anything, paying them for the day. Like I've learned to just give, because at the end of the day, it's gonna come back, and money is nothing to me.
Right.
Like I learned to not be attached to that. As long as I can not work, do what I love, money gonna come and go, but I'm living free. I'm literally living like free. I can plan my day out.
Yeah.
I might not have nothing to do today. Like, you know, so
Nah, see, for me, that's how I define success. Like
Yeah.
living life on your own terms, right? Answering to yourself. You could plan your day. Like if you want to jump up and do something tomorrow, you're able to. You know what I'm saying? Money is cool, but it's not like the end all
I'm
be
not
all.
stressing. I used to really stress so much, be depressed about it. Just stress over money, relationships. It was always a financial thing at the end of the day. And I've learned, like I said, from New York woke me up.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have a job, you'll rent $400, which is nothing, and you don't need a lot of stuff that you thought you needed before. So it just made me like more grounded. Being a minimalist, we don't really take in a lot of things anyway. We don't consume a lot of things we don't need. When I buy something, it's going to be quality where it's going to last versus like something fast fashion. I don't really mess with fast fashion like that.
Nah,
like,
I feel you.
so it's just like, yeah, just find a balance of what I need, not want. And then everything else is business and like just like free things, like investing. If I see an influencer, I'm gonna give you an earring because you promote it. Like I'm just learning like not everything is about the money side of it, but still like learning how to keep tracks, learning how to do my business taxes for the first time. Like I want to legit be legit. Like I don't want to move on to New York or somewhere else and not have a foundation. And that's why my first collection was called Foundation, because I was like, this is the start of it and we're gonna keep it going.
That's awesome. Speaking on that business part, what were your biggest lesson that you learned in business, right? Because as creatives, we can be as creative as we want to, but if we want to be like legitimize our business, we have to learn that aspect too. So it was like one of the biggest things you learned.
Discipline and just like being very organized, keeping track of like that. So like when you say money, keeping track of like, okay, if I spent $200 on the studio for my business, okay, I can write that off. But in order you say, oh, you can write that off, like you have to have that system of learning that, and that's what I had to learn. Thank God I have my dad that knows how to do that, runs his business, and I literally like took lessons and was willing to learn how to do it. So, because at the end of the day, I can hire somebody to do it, but if I don't know, how I know they're not cheating me?
Right, exactly.
Like I've heard that so many times, so like I want to know like how to control it and know what's going on. So that's something I'm still struggling with, the balancing like the business side, because being a creative is very hard to like, all I want to do is create. Like I don't want to do none of the business side, but like you have to have that. Even like emails, like thank God I learned how to talk to people, customer service for years. I know how to email for years. So customer service, making sure that I message everyone back, like things like that. But also I had to learn a balance of like, I would get an email at 3:00 in the morning and answer it. And I'm like, wait, what about my time?
Exactly.
So I had to learn like little things like that of like, wake up in the morning, wake yourself up, have a routine, and then get to work. Like people can wait. Like, you know, you wouldn't be at a regular job doing that. So don't make that your life now. So yeah, it's just a lot of balance.
Nah, for sure. So we spoke about the celebrities. We spoke about your favorite pop-up. What is your favorite moment out of all of this? Everything you've done up until today, you know, working for yourself, being a creative, going to New York, having your friends support you. Like, what are you most proud of in your career?
I'm most proud of the fact that what I'm doing has brought so many people together. So like what I enjoy, like I tell my friends all the time, my friends are very important to me. My family is too, but my friends are my family. I've battled mental illness, I battled self-care, I battled suicidal thoughts, like I battled all those things, and I will always say like my friends, they're the reason why I'm here. They're the reason why I live. I want to be a vessel for them to grow and be inspired. And so every time I have a pop-up, we're all here. Like before, when I'm working, they're working, like no one ever came together and said what, go out, you know? So things like that, my birthday, I bought a townhouse, and like literally it's my birthday and I'm throwing a dinner for my friends. Like I'm literally doing everything because this is what it's about. My idol is Tyler, Creator. So I just like really studied how he treats his friends. Like I want to get my friends paid however whatever chance I can. I want like us to travel. I want us to do things, and I like those qualities, and like that's what it's about. It's not about like me stunting or being like, it's about like building this lifestyle of inspiring my friends to want to do things, my family want to do things and stuff. So I think overall, like seeing that, she's from where we from and she's doing it, she's going after her dreams, like that's like the biggest thing, because I didn't expect this either. But it's like, you gotta take a risk.
See, that's one of my biggest motivations, is that seeing people that look like me being successful at doing whatever they want to do, right? Like we talk about celebrities is cool, but people that I know that came from the same walks of our life, that struggled the same ways I struggled, and to see them be successful, like that was really motivates me.
With no bad energy, you know, I really don't move with like hate, and I just move with good intentions and love. And a lot of people probably think, you know, oh, she must know somebody, or she must do this, or it's because she's pretty. Like just know I move with love, and that love always comes back. I believe in karma. I believe in putting good energy out there. That's just how I am. So I feel like a lot of that, like, obviously has been put back into my life. I've been through hell and back.
I feel it.
Hell and back. A lot of people have no idea. I think I told one of my newer friends, like, some stories, and she was like, I would have never thought you was going through this while you was modeling, like, you know, things like that. And I'm like, yeah, and now we could talk about it on another topic, but when I say I understand, I truly understand. When I say I don't, I really don't, but I'm willing to. So yeah, I just be chilling.
That's what's up.
I really just be chilling.
Your whole vibe, though. Your whole vibe. So to end this, what I really want you to do is I want you to speak directly to the audience. As a creative, as an entrepreneur, as, you know, as a superwoman, I'm gonna call you. Just give other creative women one piece of advice to keep them going. You know, we live in times where, you know, it's all about sharing information and value. And sometimes people are struggling. They don't have a tribe like you have. They may not have the information. So what would you tell any creative, any woman out there to help them keep going and to inspire them to follow their dreams like you did?
And when I get this question, I always like reference back to what I would tell myself, like my depressed self, my mental health self, my self-care self, of like not knowing my lost self, because I know a lot of people feel like that. And I would just say to just believe in yourself no matter what noise is around you, no matter your insecurities, but also have that circle of support. Like, I can say, oh, I just believed in myself and I did it. I had people around me that 100% supported me through everything. And just do it. If it don't work, it don't work. If it works, it works. It's fine, but be genuine about it too. A lot of people, they want to create something, but really, what's your why? And one thing that I always like go back down to is, when I leave this earth, what do I have? What do I have? What did I leave behind? And that was like a really big thing for me, was like really trying to understand my purpose. So really dig deep and find your purpose of what you want to leave behind. Like, what do you want to be known for? And that's it. A lot of people want this quick, fast, like, I just want to be known for this real quick, or I just want to, and they wonder why things don't last or stick, or it falls off or it fades away. It's because that's not really where your heart is. And so sometimes you got to be the weirdo, the one that's not going with the crowd, that's finding your own path, and that own path is going to lead you to your happiness.
That's well said.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You guys heard it here first, COSIGN Conversations. Thank you, Taylor Nikole, for your time. It was a great episode. I learned so much, inspired, motivated. This is somebody I look up to doing her thing. So as always, please continue to COSIGN life, and we out.
Hey guys, what's good? Thanks for supporting COSIGN Magazine by watching this video. If you really enjoyed this content, please subscribe, like, comment, and share.